guys. Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. We are back in the office. It's been a crazy 4 days.
Yeah, it has.
Right? We just got back late. Justin, matter of fact, his flight got delayed because somebody was taking off there.
It was either the president or the VP was taking off, so it was like one of the cooler excuses I've ever had to be delayed.
Yeah.
So, president was taking off, so we had to sit on the tarmac for like an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You had to get up a little earlier than we did. But, hey, one thing I want to say that we were actually in Washington, D.C. for our Buffalo Wild Wings business conference this week. So it was exciting. So that's why we've been out of the office since Monday through Thursday, back in here Friday, kind of wore out a little bit.
A little jet lagged.
A little jet lagged, but
I'm feeling it.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm 100% feeling it. But welcome to our podcast, man. People bring profit. I got this asked for me. What does that mean? What does people bring profit? And if you go back and watch our reels, which, man, we are getting a lot lately. I asked my daughter, I said, hey, we just had a reel go like, what's viral? And she said, anything with a K behind. I'm like, well, we got a lot of Ks behind this one. And boy, were there a lot of comments.
Oh, yeah. Lots of fun.
Lots of fun. People act like we don't know what we're doing here. I want to be humble. But, again, we started this company young and eager and excited, and I don't even know what my company's worth. And nor do I care, really. I just want to keep building and building and building. But these people act like you don't know what you're doing in business, and you don't even know what you're doing in business. You don't know what you're saying, right? Some of those things. It's like, what are y'all talking about with this on these comments? But go back to us. People bring profit. What does that mean to us, Kim?
Yeah, it means people bring our profits.
Yep.
We could not make any money without the people.
Yeah.
People in our field, people in our team, people that walk through our doors to be serviced within our restaurants. It means the people actually do bring our profits.
That's
They're
right.
the most important part of our business, from the customer to the employee.
That's right.
And people bring profit is literally aspiring to be better every single day through people and through humans. And I think, we're aspiring to treat our guests better. We're aspiring to coach and train our team member betters, and we're aspiring to learn and network and do all the things better as well. And, all of our profits are driven through our people. We can't change chicken wing prices, but we can definitely change someone being more prepared to serve a guest or someone to have a better experience in any store that we run.
And that's what the thing is. People think it's not us. It's not just me, Kim, and Justin. It's the people out in the field, and we pour into that. We think about that every day, every meeting we have. It's important that we focus on that, and that's what this podcast is really why it's named that way.
And none of us. And let me chime in real quick because I'm gonna answer one, and this is not my style. I am not the owner's son. I am someone that started as a bartender, worked for years in a Buffalo Wild Wings. Met my wife, put myself through college, paid for my own college while having 2 children. And 20 years later, through washing dishes, pouring beers, experience, networking, meeting people, we're trying to sit here and give back and share those experiences and just make a difference for someone who might be trying to get into business or thinking about what that means for them and inspiring them to aspire to start something today that they might not have yesterday. So that's where we're coming from here.
Yeah, shared
Just throwing
success.
it out there.
I think all of us, we may not all agree on everything, but one thing we do agree on here is that we want to share our success with others.
Amen.
Yeah.
And Justin, I think you're trying to answer a couple of those comments because, believe me, Kim wants to answer a lot of them, where her past come from. But I encourage you, and I said this, and I did comment on one, go back and watch our bios really quickly, and you'll be blown away to especially these guys' stories and our stories where we came from and the way we look at business too. So, but hey, back to the conference, right? We went to conference. Like, we got all this goody stuff up here. Look at this. Got my new shirt on. You said you wanted to wear
Let's go sports bar.
Yeah.
That's my best swing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That sounded good.
They did. Kim loves it. It's our new commercials that we got coming out. If you haven't seen them yet, I mean, they're all over the place. But our Hank is out there running around. Let's go sports bar.
Yeah.
Love the marketing team. We got a new CMO out there, Tristan. Man, he's killing it with this new marketing campaign we got. And that's one thing about a conference. When we get together, we get to see the new stuff, which I'm on the marketing committee. We share this. We got to taste some new cookies that are coming down. We taste the new sauces that are coming down. We all get the little heads up on it. But a lot of other franchisees don't. So these meetings are really good to go see this stuff and see the new marketing. Let's go sports bar, and it's really cool because it's more like networking too, right?
Right.
And I like calling it. We've used this, and corporate kind of use this too. And I heard it's like shamelessly stealing.
Right.
So that's what's cool about the conference. When we go there, we're with our peers, we're with other franchisees, with our corporate people, and we hear their stories and what they're doing out there. And we hear what corporal's story is, what corporate's plan for 2024 is, what they're focusing on. One of the cool aspects I got to say is, I was actually looking at my phone and somebody copying our phone because a lot of stuff corporate's working on, we have been working on as a team for months now, of our cost control, for what Kim's calling out for us. But it was really cool to see the marketing ideas, what they're doing. So we got to taste a couple of the new sauces come out. Can't say their names.
Really excited for one of them.
Man.
So
really
good.
excited for one of them.
Yeah, it
So
was
good.
like, wow, this one's a head up. And then some other stuff that's coming down the pipeline too that we can't say much about, but it has a lot of bacon to do with it, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting. I could say that at least. But one thing that while we were there, we had a good time with our team. Right? We brought our guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was fun because when you're out there with your team, not only are we shamelessly stealing and networking with other individuals, we're networking with our team because a lot of our field leaders out there, we don't get to spend every day with them personal, but we had some great conversations over dinner, over, just having a drink together and just visiting a cup of coffee together, walking to meetings and things. And that's one thing I want to spend some time on, man. I got to ask some guys some questions at work for us.
Yeah.
Wasn't that pretty cool?
That was awesome to hear their responses right off the cusp. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, Justin, I thought it was neat to see that because, we know our guys, but we don't know them. We don't know what's totally in their head and what they're thinking. Some of the questions we asked them was like, what's your 3 to 5 year plan, right?
Yeah.
And listen to what they said, Mm-hmm. And then they turned that around on us.
Yeah, that wasn't very funny.
Yeah.
You didn't
But it
like
was good.
you,
It was
you didn't
okay.
like that at all?
Yeah, no.
But it was good to
It was
see
good.
that.
It was all good.
And I think I got a lot out of that. Yeah.
You did, because we sat on our call this morning where we, everybody got back from conference, and I give a platform in our herd update for everybody to share a business best. And one of our leaders who isn't necessarily close to our support office, of all of the things that he could have said he learned and loved from the conference that we just went to, he said he loved the most networking with our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spending time with our team, getting to know our team better, because he doesn't get that FaceTime. And we talk all the time on calls and Zooms and texts and whatnot, but really just getting to lock elbows. And even that, if that's after a couple beers at the bar, talking about your family and your struggles, or, sitting in the morning with our laptops as HR was doing payroll and we were knocking out cogs together, face to face. And that was what he shared is most important. So it validates what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's in a really relaxing environment. You're not so corporately structured that we have to live day to day here at the office. But these guys kind of get together, rally around, and get to know us.
Yeah.
Get to know us on a more personal level. We get to know them on a more personal level, which helps us figure out how they lead their team. They get to figure out our internal drives, what leads our team. So figuring that out with an individual is so important.
There was more personality than I ever knew out of a couple of them.
There was.
Won't drop names. But
Yeah, there
it was really
was.
cool getting to do what you said and, loosen them up a little bit and
Yeah.
really get to know them.
Yeah.
And when we do these conferences, it's cool to break away. Me and Kim got we had the first part of the conference. We had to go to a different meeting, a PAC meeting, and you guys got to go out and experience Washington D.C. in a whole different way.
We did. We didn't have a plan, but we knew we wanted to start with a nice picture at the White House, and that resonated into, we've got some leaders of the herd that stepped up and thought scooters would be a good idea, which was awesome. I wasn't bought in at first, but I was like the second person on the scooter once one person did it, and I was really excited. So we went from the White House to the Lincoln Memorial to trying to act out Forrest Gump at the Washington Monument to the World War II, veteran or monument to the IRS to the post office in like a 2-hour span, and we just had so much fun. Taking photos, taking videos, sharing history, being together, and just even riding the scooters was fun because there was some people that were really good at it and others, some were popping wheelies.
Yeah.
Some were hitting old ladies walking down the sidewalk or trying not to hit them. But it was just, I at one point ran into a railing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I hit the brakes and it was the gas. But it was just the network and the team building while y'all were working hard in Washington was amazing for us. Just to get a little piece of history together and share in that moment. I think it's something that I'll remember, and it was just great to see their personalities shine, get outside of work, and just get to know them while doing what I thought was one of the cooler team building activities I've ever been a part of. And it was unscripted. Yeah. We all just went down there as a team without a plan and just said, like, what feels good to everybody? What should we do? And that's what we came up with.
Yeah.
Kim was jealous.
I was. I wanted to scoop.
Yeah. What was cool, y'all, as you guys were doing this, me and Kim were in a business more environment. Now, we did get to tour, but we were with the top executives Inspire, which we were honored to do that we got an invite for that. There were some franchisees that got invited with this, and not only was it Buffalo Wild Wings leadership, it was Inspire.
Yeah.
We got to meet the new CFO of the company of Inspire that oversits the whole brands, all of them. So it was pretty cool. We got to listen to some, I guess, a senator speak a little bit, and what he does for us as a restaurant company. So, and we got to tour some stuff too. It was cool, but believe me, we were honored to do that. But as y'all were sending pictures of you guys riding scooters, Kim was like, I want to be there.
Yeah, I wanted to be with my team, of course, but I enjoyed the experience I got to have with others that are in the pack.
We did, but I did start thinking Kim was about to say, does our insurance, we better insurance cover this? Because seeing Patrick and them pop wheelies on these scooters, and then some of us parts like, hey, are y'all supposed to ride scooters in that part of the monument?
Hey, they were on their own. They paid for it on their own. They were off the clock. It was all on them.
All on them. But one thing I think that I speak for me and Kim, it is cool because you're networking again. Let's go back to that. Yeah. And you're spending time with leaders that are in our field that we ask a lot of, and we get to spend. And there now you tear down those walls and you're having fun, because I did notice a shift in some. Mm-hmm. Like, some we haven't spent a lot. We have some new ones that we haven't spent much time with, that noticed at first they were kind of didn't know how to relax in front of us.
Rails up, yeah.
Yeah. And then they went down.
Yeah.
Because they relaxed and they found out, hey, we're just normal people. Mm-hmm. And we're normal, we're just got a different title and we got a whole different accountability stuff. But they relaxed and understood that we're just normal people and we're here to have fun. And I want to know you more, you know me more. And we can do so much different things out in the field together, right? You saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting in that. I'm glad we got to do that. But then we go back to the conference, right? We're going to the conference. I want to call one thing out, because when I say me and Kim in the company, we shamelessly steal, we're always watching other leaders. Believe me, I see Kim watching her videos all the time. And one thing that she does, and I've learned this from her, she watches not only CFO videos. I don't know if I've told you, Justin. She watches CEO podcast, or YouTube reels, or YouTube shows, and COOs, everybody, not to take our job, but to learn our job and to learn how to help us better. So that's how I feel. I always
have perspective. You're looking at things through different lenses, and obviously the CFO stuff, I'm sure, is great assets to you, but the other stuff gives you the perspective or the other lens as you're, making calls or giving guidance. That's a wonderful approach. Yeah. I appreciate that for sure.
And she's, why do you do that?
Yeah, just to kind of level my own self up. I want to know. That's just how I self-develop. I enjoy watching, and I look up to, like we said, we were in the PAC committee, and I wanted to meet the CFO. I got the opportunity to meet. I want to see how she presents herself, so that I can present myself in the same manner. I want to see how she conducts herself in that environment, so that I can also have internal goals for myself. It's that you have to, like you always say, still shamelessly, and that's a great way to kind of humble yourself and know that you can really learn from others. That's my whole goal here. That's my goal here on the podcast, is just really teaching others that are in our field that I can reach down and pull them up. They may not be able to sit in my seat within this company, but they can sit in the seat within another company. And if I could, that pathway for them, it's just an awesome feeling. And so why I do that so that I can bring my team up. Why do I listen to CEO videos and reels and podcast, is so that I can reach to you and say, hey, they're doing it this way. This is their vision. Have you ever thought about this? Not to really mandate or dictate
Or take my job.
or take your job or in your role, but just to say, hey, they're doing this. And the same for COOs. That's why I watch their videos and I learn from them, and I want to learn from our operational team. It's not necessarily to sit in that seat. It's more along the fact that I can help and assist us get to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's my whole goal here, right?
That
We
is.
want to be successful.
That is.
And we can only be successful through people
And through a team.
and through our team.
It's not one of us, it's all of us, right? I've
That's
heard that
right.
many a times before. And I, hats off to you, because I do that. I watch, Paul Brown, our CEO of when he took over Buffalo's, man, I watched everything. I've watched how he dressed, watched how he held his pen, watched did he pick up his phone during a meeting, and what was he doing?
Yeah.
And then how he talked to people and how he dealt with people. He's done some great stuff for me personally, and I learned from that. And like I said, I shamelessly steal things like that all the time. But watching you this week, I did see that, because it was funny. Me and you were across the room. And it wasn't it was like, 50, 60 people. And our new a CFO of Inspire, she was brought up from Duncan, and now she's in Inspire. I've heard a lot about her, never really got to personally meet her. But our COO, at the time, our COO now, who's our brand president of Buffalo's, John Bowie, brought her over to us. I saw him look at us like, okay. And I thought, and I was kind of like starstruck a little bit. And I
Yeah.
saw you were too, because,
Yeah.
probably you look up to her.
Right, absolutely.
Because I said this, when she was probably over Duncan, she was over probably hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. Now she's over billions of dollars. So I guess to her, it's just a number.
Right.
But I watched you watch her throughout the day, how she met people, how she talked to people, how she handled herself. And I didn't tell you this, but I was starstruck at you too, because I respect that so much in anybody. Stop, being, jealous. Stop being, be humble and look at people. And she's probably been in this field a lot longer than us and done a lot more and had a different education, but that doesn't scare us away. We're still going to learn from them. And I hats off to that, because, man, you're really good at that.
Yeah. And for me personally, it's just powerful women.
Yeah.
Powerful women in great positions, just like when Sally Smith was our president of our brand at Buffalo Wild Wings. I wanted to know, how can I be Sally Smith?
Yeah.
That's just my internal drive.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to aspire to be.
Yeah.
Was her. I wanted to know how to walk in her shoes. Yeah. And I can't explain my internal drive. I was raised by two powerful grandmothers, and I guess that's what instilled in me. Women, powerful women, we can make a difference in the world. And so that's just what drives me.
Yeah, that is awesome. Justin, I see you watch some other people out there too. I see you watch those leaders in the company and paying attention to what they're
I'm
doing.
still starstruck by Paul Brown, and I
Yeah.
had a couple discussions this week. But through networking and going to these conferences and leveling yourself up, there are definitely people that I'm much more comfortable being around and talking to, and I get really excited about leveling others up as well. So I spent a lot of my time just kind of making introductions for some of the ops leaders that we made. And I remember how giddy and excited and nervous that it was for me to meet people with certain titles or certain influence and that you might see up on stage. So it was really cool to just kind of walk around and be like, hey, here's our CMO, Tristan.
Yeah.
What's up? Let's high five. Look how real he is. He is a great guy. You could just chat with him.
Yeah.
And just making those interactions was super cool for the team. They gave me feedback right away, like, holy crap, thank you for, walking me up there, grabbing some photos. And that piece of networking, instills the confidence that when we say people driving profits, these are real people. They care so much. And the more you can, get confidence to talk with them, the better.
Yeah.
It's not easy though. I'm an introvert, right? That was not easy for me 15 years ago. I needed someone to latch arms with me and walk up with me. Yeah. And now I'm that person that gets to share and, has that confidence to do that with others. So that's where I want to spend as much time possible. It's like, hey, we went with 8 people. Yeah. Can I get these 7 people to meet someone that they are just so starstruck by? But yeah, Paul Brown for me is
if you get a picture with them and all that. Tristan, our new CMO, it's funny because me and Kim are sitting on the plane to take off, and I got a text from him, and it's like, man, it's so good to see you and Kim and the hype that you and your company brings to the conference, because we're excited. We walk around.
Yeah.
You guys, I feel like, we have this tradition. We started this years back. Like I always say, we dress down, because I don't want to walk in a suit and tie, and because that doesn't feel like our people feel that's approachable. So we started this jeans. I always wear jeans, white tennis shoes or tennis shoes, and we wear T-shirts to work. Well, these guys started. They call it the loud ticking way. They started wearing sports coats and our Aspire to Be shirts. Now, did you see the conference?
That's like the look.
Everybody's wearing it. And I don't
Yeah.
know how many people walked up to us and said, hey, I watch your podcast. I learned so much about the business. I'm a vendor or what, and I really enjoy that. I had somebody stop me this morning, say some stuff about that, and how, Kim started this and how funny he is and how he loves watching your comments and what you have to say and how you've grown with this. But one thing I do want to say, which was I'll shamelessly steal from everybody. And there's a franchisee out there that, boy, I feel like we running and gunning, me and him. And his name is a good friend of mine, Bobby Pancake. Been knowing him for a long, long time. He does multiple brands, stuff too. And a couple years ago, he said, dude, I love what y'all are doing on LinkedIn. And we're doing this and on social and all your new names and your T-shirts. And he said, I'm stealing some of that and then just the stuff. But he did something. Man, did he level up.
Yeah,
And boy, he
did.
Donkey Konged me.
Yeah.
Boom, he got us. I'm sitting there in my seat. You're sitting there. Next time I see Kim's like, look at this. And she gets your video. Well, I'm going to say a little bit, then I want you to tell me how you felt. This one of the leaders from his brand, one of his GMs came up to him with a stack of like player cards.
Yeah.
And he's all in his Gary Vee stuff, which more to come on that. And he came up with him and had a pen. And Justin's like looking like, what is this? Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so they come up, and obviously I'm like, holy crap, that's a baseball card with me on it. What on earth is going on here? And it was one of his GMs that he brought. And, when we talk about networking and growing, and I just told you that it was nice for me to walk around and lock elbows and make introductions, but he's growing his company, right? So he brought more people than we had, and he can't do that with everybody. So it was a contest that he was putting on for the people that he was bringing to. He had identified, and I know Bobby through the OAC, which is the Ops Advisory Council. So like we worked together, and he identified 20 people that he wanted his people to go meet and interact with and get to know and just kind of put the face to the name. So I have no idea this is going on. This person walks up with a baseball card and a Sharpie and asked me for a signature. So I'm humbled out of my mind. Yeah. I'm like, what is going on here? But I instantly went into I have to make a difference here, right? And you were listening to Scott Van Pelt, saying, hey, treat superstars normal and normal people like superstars, right? Yeah. So it was like, how do I, in this 5 or 15-second interaction, flip the script from me signing something and them being starstruck and just kind of tell them how easy this is? So it's like, hey, how you doing? Where you from? What store you're at. Thank you for all your hard work. This is so great. Thank you for all that you do. I'm actually a fan of you. It's not the other way around.
Yeah.
So that was the small thing I could do, but it was just brilliant of him because he had 20 cards for, call it 10 people, and there was 200 interactions that he created. And you could see it. He instilled confidence. They were locking elbows going, oh, okay, go talk to that guy. And you could see some were comfortable and some weren't, and then they'd flip. So it was a really cool way for the people to network, and obviously we're sitting there going, oh yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like we're our version of this, or how do we take this and make it even better? Yeah. I was super humbled. Once I found out what was going on, I was really excited, right? Yeah. I was like, everyone I signed, I was like, oh, can I make this a little bit better?
Did you sign all 10 of them? Do you get them? Do you know if they hit you?
I signed about 15, and I texted them on the way home yesterday, and I said, hey, I'd like to know who won. I'd like to shoot them an email. I'd like to congratulate them, and I'd like to just, instill a little additional confidence in who went above and beyond and let them know that, they were seen and their hard work's appreciated. And he texted me back. I have the GM's email that won, cool. So I'm gonna write him a little note today. And he said that would mean the world to this guy. He was so pumped about this. So
why don't you should send him a shirt. Say send him Aspire to Be shirt.
Oh, that would be even cooler.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's leveling up right there.
Just say level it up. But did you? One question: did you tell Bobby you wanted your copy of your card?
No.
I
think we have a picture. Yeah,
I would have told that guy how much you got. I'll buy that card from you.
Yeah,
it had stats.
It did. It had your bio on the back. Yeah. It was so cool.
Where I went to school, all of it.
And I'm sitting there watching that, and I'm looking at Bobby, and I'm thinking, man, this guy's awesome. Instead of me being jealous of the situation of him doing something way better than we're doing, I'm just sitting there like at all. And that's what's wrong with the world today. If all you guys out there just watch people what they're doing, it's shamelessly steal. Believe me, I'm gonna come up with something even cooler next year. because I want to double him up, and he'll probably do the same thing. He'll probably show up with something even crazier than I got. But that's what's
He would
cool.
want you to, though, too.
But he's
That's
such an
the-
inspiring
yeah.
owner and franchisee. And his story, he started in the corporate world, worked his way up, is cool as crap, too. But I just look up to him, but I'm sitting there thinking, so I had to go up to him. I said, Bobby, dude, he's like, you like it? I said, dude, I love it, man. What brought you to do that? You know, his thing was same thing too. It was like leveling up people. He said, I got, you know, how many people he brought? 15 people, 20 people. I don't remember how it was, but he said, you know, a lot of these guys have never been in an environment this way. I mean, we had some people with us who said, man, I've only been on a plane like 3 times.
Yeah.
And so he's had people that hasn't been out of the sports bar. And so they were starstruck and they were nervous. So that kind of broke the ice a little bit for them to walk up and say, hey, excuse me, Justin. And you're like, yeah, can you sign my card? And you're like, yeah. Because at one point we were in a meeting. We had like a little special little meeting off to the side. And there was like all the top guys were in there. And I walked out and there was like 4 of them, the guys wanting to sign, because they knew everybody was in there that needed to be signed. So it was kind of cool because the lady at the door was like, sir, can y'all wait till they come out to get these autographs? But it was making these guys step out of their uncomfortable zone, right? They weren't comfortable of walking up to Ray Hutchinson, who's one of our biggest franchisees and who's over our boards, been a top leader for our company. And I thought it was cool to do that, you know? That would have made me step out.
Blew my mind, actually. It actually blew my mind, the thought that he put into that. And, you know, forcing his team, I say forcing, but in a good way, forcing his team to do a networking, you know, skill. And because they are responsible for so much, and they have to learn to walk up to someone, because you're going to have that irate customer in the store that they have to go up and figure out how to deal with. And so just him doing that, thinking of that at that level was just, it blew my mind.
Yeah. Because it's
Great job.
It could be intimidating, right? It could be intimidating for you to handle a hard guest, right? But when you're walking up to some of these top leaders who you just look up to, and you might never met in your life, and to just walk up to somebody, we all seen somebody that we're starstruck about, and it might not be starstruck like they're world famous, but somebody that you look up to, and it's hard to do that. So man, that's one thing that I love about Bobby and I love about our company. People think we're just focused. Go look at the comments, just about the profits. You know, or, you know, the dollar figures, and somebody made somebody like me and Kim have some big boat or something. No, we're focused on the people, you know? We're focused on the people that work for us, and we spend a lot of time on our culture.
Yes.
A lot of time on our people and understanding of people, and understand they're all different. You know, everybody has a different life, have a different past, or different, you know, different situations going on, and we have to handle those differently. You know, it's like getting in a car. This one's an automatic. This is a gear shifter, and this is 3 on the tree. You got to figure out how to drive these guys, right? Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
3 on the tree.
I hadn't heard that in a while.
Playbook for this is harder than ever. It's harder than ever what we're talking about right here. So if you're not networking and shamelessly stealing things that you see that are awesome, you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah. So it was a great conference. A great conference. At the end of the day, Justin, what's one of the top things that you got out of this conference, you think? What was one of the things that you really felt like come home excited about?
I was really proud to be a part of the Buffalo Wild Wings brand. I thoroughly enjoyed the marketing campaign and the pitch to what we all have to look forward to, and just the calibration of the operational plan, knowing that I feel like we're just a little bit ahead or in front of what they know is important and have to work on, and they're Inspire-led. So they have endless amounts of data and, you know, keyboard warriors putting together what the data is telling them they need to focus on. And we're in the right spot. I think operationally we're focusing on the right things, and that felt really good that there's alignment. And, you know, it's all led with, I really felt like our team is stronger than ever, but it's all been one-on-one time. So I don't think we're not investing into our team, but it's been a lot of you and someone and me and someone, or even the 3 of us and someone. And it felt for the first time that we all got together as like an aspire to be powerhouse, and everybody in the room was looking at us for, you know, leading the room. And we're one of the, you know, the small fish in the grand scheme of things in that room. So I was very, very proud of that. I walked away with the drive to get one of our stores on stage and get in Blazing Games and not taking no for an answer and figuring it out. So I think that was one of the takeaways for me, that I really want to put a lot of time and thought and effort into that, because I'm unafraid especially in this world, to win things. We've all won
Yeah.
Buffalo Wild Wing things. So we just got to figure this one out, and I'm unafraid of it, and I want to figure out what that playbook looks like. And I really enjoyed, as I always do, the three of us just pouring into our team, and seeing a lot of friends that I've built over 20 years is always a great thing too. Being able to give a couple hugs, some high fives, have some conversations with people. And some of the, and this is a very long answer because this was a good one for me. I got to have a ton of conversations with whether it was a director of construction or real estate on things that we're actually working on in our stores. So this was you have to get things out of these conferences. These things are expensive. They're huge investments. And I think a reflection of going back should be the effort and the time and what you get out of the current one. So something for me is not only pouring into the team, but did I go there with an agenda to really learn and meet new people and talk about things that we're actively working on in our stores? We're trying to make our Buffalo Wild Wings goes less expensive to build, right? We're at the top end of the model. We need to be at the low end. So I spoke with the director of construction there on where they're carving out, and I knew that was a focal point. So I enjoyed this one, as you can tell, and that's me.
That was some good stuff. Yeah. That was some construction, good talks in there. Kimberly, this conference, I felt it was great. What would you feel like you got the most out of it?
Yeah, so for me, we sat in many ownership meetings. But when we were out there in general session, for me, I got a real good focus of going into 2024 and what that's going to look like for the company as far as my vision. And John Bowie said, how do you change Chile one Djibouti at a time? And both of those were kind of countries that he did, that he
crazy.
That was a great takeaway.
Yeah,
yes.
We understand that, but basically what that means is that how do you make a change? You have to make it as one small change at a time. Same philosophy behind how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time. And so going into 2024, I know that we're up against a lot of obstacles, but how are we going to make a difference in this company? We're going to make it by one small changes at a time and sticking to our plan. And another thing that resonated with me is shared success. When he spoke about sharing your success. And so for us, for 2024, I'd like that to be our vision as well. Sharing our success, because once we can share our success and do it in a way that others can share their successes, we're at a win.
Yeah.
So going into 2024 with that in mind is just it's exciting. I'm ready to put that in a plan. I'm ready to put that in an intervention plan, and let's go sports bars.
Let's go. Yeah. There you go. Let's go sports bars. That's cool, Kim, you said that because we were in one of the owner conference meetings, and it was one of the Buffalo Wild Wings go, and we all got pulled different ways and asked questions from these younger franchisees that aren't in the system. And that's one of the concerns that we always thought about in that is that, Buffalo Wild Wings, it's a close-knit franchisee group, and we all kind of pull the same way, and we know how this franchisee works, and we know how this one, but with being a part of a new one, we want to bring up these younger ones and hopefully give them some good insight of how we run our Buffalo Wild Wings go. So we got a lot of questions like that, shared a lot of information with my contact information. Call me, hey, I'll show you how we're running what Buffalo Wild Wings go, because it's different than the quick service you might be part of now. So we want to kind of bring those people up too, like shared success with that. Go ahead.
Hey, I have one more that I missed out on. And two, I confirmed and resonated my thoughts around, your committees and what your committees are doing within your organization. So just make sure that those that are representing you in a way that's making a difference. And so we have committees within our own organization. I have committees outside of this that I do with the school board, and just making sure that those committees are really representing your vision and everyone's vision and not their own.
That's true. That's good you said that. So when you're in Washington, you got to learn that, which, it brings well, let me answer my question really quickly. So one thing that I got out of these conferences, we've been doing this for 20-something years, and I thought this was one of the more inspiring to me because it was a fun conference. It got to see a lot of people. We've been in a very, very kind of turmoil system with the restaurant and hospitality business, but it was uplifting to see John Bowie and our leaders take on like that, take it on. They notice it. It's finally like they're calling it out. We have a problem with hospitality. We have a problem with what people think about us as a brand, and we got to fix that in one Djibouti at a time. I'm more like, let's eat this whole elephant. Let's fix it. I told my team, no, we're not going to fix. We're going to fix. We're going to stop guest comments right now.
We started that charge this morning.
Yeah, and y'all did.
I know. And Kim was like, what?
Yeah.
Let's get a plan in place, please.
Kim's all about the plan.
Let's get a plan, goal, and
yeah, she's all about that. But that's one thing we got to start. We got to dive in and fix the problems. But one thing I did this differently, and you helped me with this. We have a vendor show. And normally we go to this vendor show, it's packed. It's a lot of entertainment. It's a lot of our vendors, a lot of, drinks and snacks. And normally I tell our team, like, y'all go y'all's way. You go have fun. You meet the vendors, shake hands, talk to them. And this is one of the things you leveled me up. And me to be so humble, I never even, like, no, we're not going to do that. You were like, hey, let's keep the team together this time. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, let's do it. So I said, hey, we're all going to go together. Let's walk down the aisle. We're going to head down this aisle. And one would stop and visit a little longer, and we keep moving. But we hung out as a family, like a herd. And it was cool because people would see us coming, like, oh, there's Aspire to Be. Here they come, And they were calling us all over. Hey, come over here. Multiple times people call us, like, that's not even like a food vendor. They might be sell dishwashers. Like, hey, man, I watch your podcast. And I learned so much about that.
That happened. A lot of the vendors that I was not familiar with, you'd typically walk by, whether it doesn't apply to you or you use a different one. And a couple of them were like, hey, Justin, come over here. And I'm like, we don't use that vendor. We watch your podcast. Nice to meet you. So that was super. That was happening.
It was pretty cool. One time they told me, Kim, I think we were all standing there like, hey, I feel like I need an autograph with y'all or a picture. I was like, man, this is pretty cool. But I felt because we were walking as a herd.
Yeah.
It wasn't an individual.
That's right. We
were walking like as a family. Like, I look at it like this. I know this is my brain. It was like, 9, 8 big buffaloes. That's Aspire to Be, man. Look at them. Here they come with their sports coats, all looking cool. And we were this biggest smiles. Teeth, right? We were showing some teeth that trip. So it was cool because I got to spend really 2.5 hours walking halls, watching our team shoot basketball because they have all these games and have fun and be competitive, high five. And I could see the switch turn right there of how they opened up more to me, right? Our team, my Buffaloes. They came and stood beside me and not behind me.
And we were winning and losing together, right? We were losing the basketball game and the mini golf, but we were winning.
Well, I think Steven went back and tried to play multiple times to get on the scoreboard.
Him and Jake were trying real hard. They were trying real hard.
But it was cool at that point to realize it hit me like at the end of it, like they were walking beside me. And that's what I want. I don't want to lead. I mean, I want to lead, right? I mean, there has to be a leader, but I want to know, I don't want to look behind me. When I look, this is a vision I have, right? When I look behind me, I feel like I'm losing my sight up front. But I look beside me, and they're here, I feel like, let's go to war. It's time to battle. So it was cool because I know you two are always beside me. But now my other guys, other leaders in the field, they felt equal because I had some come say, hey, man, I'm really glad we got to spend some time with you. Can me and you hit an Astros game together? So, yeah, I'd love to. I'd never go because I don't, people don't ask me to go. But, yeah, I'd love to go. Me and Kim would love to go to the Astros. Let's go. He said, I just want to learn more about y'all. So it was really cool. So that was something that just starstruck me, that my team was sitting there beside me. So, man, it was cool.
I'm excited that you got that out of that.
I did because you know why? You leveled me up because all them little CEO videos you watch. So, but again, hey, be humble enough, guys. Be leaders. Whatever you're out in the field is, man, just listen to people, learn from people. Don't be jealous of anybody. Just learn from what they got and figure out how they got it and pay attention to those guys, man. I'm excited about that. One thing we didn't get to hit on that I definitely want to run a podcast on, I know I'm going to throw this at you, Kim, is, the PAC committee. What that really means. What does PAC mean?
It's political action committees.
Okay, well, we don't have enough time to talk about this on the podcast, but we were in Washington to understand that and the more the political part of that, because that's a whole thing that I took after being in that and learning a little bit more about that lobbyist groups, and I'm sure there's some bad out there, right? But to learn what they're doing for our restaurant business and educating the senators and the House guys of our business as they vote on bills, very shocked to know that a lot of people voting on these bills and have no clue about the business.
Yeah, because it's coming to them at 100 miles per hour. They can't know everything about everything
Yeah.
at all times.
Yeah, because these guys might be a lawyer. This might have been in this business before they got into this, a doctor or what. They have no clue about running a restaurant. The one guy we did meet, he was a McDonald's franchisee.
Yeah.
And it was cool to learn that. He was a senator or house guy that did a speech, and he was a McDonald's franchisee for years, sold out and got in this business and helping their franchise on this side in the restaurant business and helping other lawmakers understand. So it's a whole good topic because you're all into that with the school board stuff.
Yeah.
So really cool stuff. But hey, thank y'all. Appreciate your time today. We got a bunch of cool gifts. It was pretty cool, Kim. I don't know if you saw these, but you know what that is, right?
Aviator glasses.
And
Yeah,
what-
Shiner.
Shiner.
Shiner glasses.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
booth we went to, Kim said, "Do you have a Shiner? Do you have a
Yeah,
Shiner?"
so
So, and I'm sure Justin was walking around with some Diet Pepsi,
I tore those
Shiner.
Diet Pepsi coolers up.
Yeah, you did. Every time I'd see you over there. But I didn't have a Diet Pepsi hat. I wish I would have got it, pulled that
Yeah.
shirt off. So it's really cool, though. But hey, thank you guys for your time. You look cool in those.
Shiner all the way.
Shiner all the way. Okay, guys, thank you for your time. Y'all have a great week, guys.